remember the days when someone could be wrong. I remember the days when thinking out loud won't get you shot down. I remember the ways we used to call out, hey, hey, hey. So don't forget to call on me to disagree. So don't forget to call on me to disagree. You now reduce them to the evil you once agreed. You now reduce them to be silenced you once agreed. So don't forget to call on me to disagree. So don't forget to call on me, yeah, to disagree. Your ship is sailing on. I see you on the horizon. Your ship is sailing on. I see you sailing on the horizon. Call on me when you wanna disagree. Please call on me when you wanna disagree. You now reduce them to be silenced you once agreed. You and I are predetermined nonsense, and that's okay. You and I have predetermined consequence, and that's okay. And that's okay. You and I are locked into our destiny, and that's okay. And that's that's okay. Nothing seems to go right. Melodies don't sound right. It's true. Days disappear. Shadows remain plainly clear. The door opens, and the fizzing in my beer slows. The door opens as it slows. I see a shade of something moving like a blanket in the wind. A pretty little blanket, perfect to heal me in the end. The door opens, and the fizzing in my beard slows. She walks by, and the spinning in my head grows. The door opens as it slows. I wish that I was pretty, more pretty than reflections look tonight. But I'm past the point of caring. It's time to make a moment. Let's not make a moment. This shouldn't be a moment. The door opens, and the fizzing in my beer slows. She walks by, the spinning in my head grows. When the door opens, and the fizzing in my beer slows. As she walks by, oh, she walks by, the spinning in my head grows. Watch it go. The door opens, and it slows. Closing sale, everything must go, nothing left behind, no wild oats to sow. It's out of my way, I'm done now, you see. You took the meat, but not my bones. Now throw away your key. 1 foot out the door, persistent. You are frozen in time. Oh, I love you slips out of my mind. So sail, set sail, a little bird. Just go and set sail. Set sail, set sail, a little bird. Just go and set sail. I'll take my ship away as the storm rolls in. I hope the wind is with me, and I hope you've learned that the pirate within me is sworn to the truth. Live or die by this rule. Something old and something new is the treasure within me. As sad as it seems, you will come to know what it all means to me. Set sail, little bird. Just go and set sail. Set sail, set sail, little bird. You just go now and set sail. Some pictures and some memories, ones I can't forget, on the crest of my black heart. You best not forget that the pirate never loses. He always collects one way or another. Now you can clear up all your regrets of the time you set sail with that pirate from the sky. You will remember him until that day that you die. Set sail, little bird. Now come on, just set sail. Set sail, little bird. Now I want you to set sail. Set sail, oh, little bird. Now I want you to set sail. Don't forget to lose your mind tonight. Just watch me. Hello. Don't you think about responsibilities. Just feel what you want. Feel what you want tonight. I want you to say how you feel. I want you to tell me I'm no good. We'll send you on your way if you say so. You try to, but you see me staring back at you. I'm staring back at you. So have another dance with me, my dear. Move your hips like this, it's clear. I'm what you need as a tear falls down. I want you to say how you feel. to me, my dear. Look inside me and it's clear I'm a better man than him. I'm a better man than him. Then time stops. I want you to say how you feel. I want you to tell me I'm no good. Well, don't you look back, you will miss me. Don't look back, I'm standing under the street light at night. So just walk to me, my dear. Look inside me and it's clear I'm a better man than him. I'm a better man than him. Then time stops. It's the same road as before, and I wonder who I'll see this time. Just your touch
All right, my dudes, we are live. Welcome, welcome. Um, so make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. This is the Pangburn Show, the new Pangburn Show, where we feature myself. We get joined by co-host Andy, and we talk about things that matter the most to humanity, and we try to have fun while doing it. I hope I'm coming through clear. The reason why I'm a little bit late, I have to send an e-transfer because I just wanted to turn the turn the live stream on just so you guys kind of get a sense from what it's like to be a live event producer. You know, I get sent an email. You have 15 minutes to figure out what's going on with your the card that's on file in order to book this really important advertisement that's going to really help promote your upcoming tour. You have 10 minutes to act, or else your ad's getting pulled so that we can sort out this issue. This is the kind of stuff that happens, and you got to kind of just, go with it. So now what I'm doing, I'm setting up an e-transfer to them. This is for the full page Georgia Strait ad. Those of you in the Vancouver area, those of you who are from Canada, the Georgia Strait in Vancouver, we're going to have a full page there. Hopefully, eventually, we will get front page. We'll give them, maybe Sabine and Lawrence for an exclusive interview, something like that. But I need to create a new payee. What? Okay. English. This is part of the business, my dudes. Okay. I need to send them the amount of what's the security question supposed to be? Oh. Oh, okay. I can just ask them anything. Who's got the biggest D in the world? Well, I can just do something basic like that. Oh, there we go. I swear, if this is over the transfer amount. Oh. Is that right? No, that won't work. I hope you guys are entertained by this. Drop any questions you have for me. The beginning of this program is always an AMA. You can ask me anything. Ask me anything about something I've posted. Ask me for my take on any issue you want to hear my take on. Okay, then I'm going to make this as I finish this e-transfer. Science Fan says, growing up, I never thought a person could control their bank account via their hands. We had to go in with a book they stamped and updated in real time. I know. Isn't that nuts? Okay, this should all be right. Review. Send. It's all sent. I'm going to give them a screenshot of this. Oh, shit. Send. Move out of the way. Make sure this is all taken care of. Okay, good. Okay, awesome. I'm going to keep an eye on my phone, but let's get to this. Well, let's start off the episode by first reminding you all, see this beautiful poster to my left. It's featuring Arvin Ash, Lawrence Krauss, and Sabine Hossenfelder. I'm going to talk a bit about Sabine Hossenfelder. Well, we're going to just read off Wikipedia, just so you guys get a brief, breakdown of who she is, the books she's written, and what she's working on, things like that. All three of these science communicators, 2 physicists and an engineer, they have excellent YouTube channels. So make sure you subscribe to Arvin Ash, Lawrence Krauss, and Sabine Hossenfelder on YouTube. They are brilliant. I really enjoy their channels for physics education and communication for people who are coming from a pretty basic understanding. Arvin Ash, his channel is brilliant for that. Amazing communicator. He's going to be kind of playing moderator, host between Lawrence and Sabine when we're in Vancouver. And then Lawrence and Sabine will be holding down the fort, just the two of them, for Montreal and Calgary. And that's starting the tour. So it's going to be three dates in 3 days. So, yeah, going hard at it. I hope the venue mandates hold up for us and that there's no lockdown or anything like that. It would be nice if the venue capacity was increased to 100% capacity, at least for Vancouver. That would be awesome, but we're going to have to deal with what we deal with. And yeah, if you can't tell, I'm super excited to get live events rolling again after this long break due to the pandemic. I mean, the last production that I produced was between Matt Dillahunty and Dinesh D'Souza in New York City. I believe that was my 4th event that I've produced on Broadway. So go check that out. That event exists on this channel exclusively because we produced it. But yeah, really cool conversation between Dinesh D'Souza and Matt Dillahunty. Some very fiery moments. Specifically, check out the segment in that discussion where Matt and Dinesh talk about trans issues. It was fascinating. Do say hello in the comment section. Drop a like. Yeah. Tickets go on sale for the tour this Saturday publicly. There's a bit of a pre-sale in Vancouver because they need to do a pre-sale if you want the special marketing that they offer. So there will be a bit of a pre-sale, but tickets go on sale on the 22nd, which is this Saturday. If you're in Calgary, Vancouver, or Montreal, or close by, or you can get there, I highly suggest coming out to these events. It's going to be a celebration. It's going to be fun. There will be a Q&A at the end of the discussion. And then for those people holding a VIP ticket, they will get to engage in the book signing with Sabine, Lawrence. And there will be posters there that you can buy if you didn't bring a book to sign, that you can get Arvin Ash to sign if you're a fan, or Lawrence or Sabine. Just a bit of information on Sabine. I'm just going to close this stuff here. Close Twitter. Thank Christ. Sabine Hossenfelder is a German theoretical physicist, author, and musician who researches quantum gravity. She is a research fellow at the Frankfurt Institute for Advanced Studies, where she leads the superfluid dark matter group. She is the author of Lost in Math, How Beauty Leads Physics Astray, which explores the concept of elegance in fundamental physics and cosmology. you guys know, you should know that I really enjoy talking to physicists. So I'm really excited for when I'll be able to book Sabine on the podcast, because I think we're going to have a really interesting conversation. A little bit on her education background. Hossenfelder completed her undergraduate degree with distinction in 1997 at, I think it's Johann Wolfgang. I'm gonna say all that wrong. At a university in Frankfurt. She remained there for a master's degree, and she wrote a thesis under the supervision of Walter Greiner, titled Particle Production in Time-Dependent Gravitational Fields, which she completed in 2000. Hossenfelder received her doctorate from the same institution in 2003 for the thesis Black Holes in Large Extra Dimensions, under the supervision of Horst Stoker. I think it. So do look into her book. I know she's got a new book coming out, so stay tuned for that. She talks about it a lot on Twitter. I've seen a couple posts, so go over to Twitter, find Sabine. You'll find her easy enough. She's really cool, and her YouTube channel is very popular. So, it was important for me if I come across people like Sabine, who I think are doing an excellent job in the science communication realm, and like Arvin Ash, they deserve to be on stage with people like Lawrence Krauss, who has been in the public eye for a long time. So, this is very much behind why I chose, these two people to be up there with Lawrence. And you guys know I've worked with Lawrence lots, and I think he's fantastic and one of the greatest science communicators of our time. So there's a bit on Sabine there. I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to go through some of the comments on the video I posted just this morning. Let me pull it up. And I'm just going to go straight with the video title, and then we'll jump into some of your guys' comments. Very interesting. So the video title, if you haven't seen it yet, is "You'd Have to Kill Me First," quote, or I'll try to do a better Jordan impersonation. You'd have to kill me first. Not bad. Not bad for 213. Jordan Peterson on boosters/vaccines. Because in the tweet that Jordan responded to, Justin Trudeau's tweet, he was talking about getting your first and second vaccine as well as your booster, right? And a lot of people being apologetic for Jordan's words and saying like, well, if you understand the context of the rest of his work. But people have to understand, when someone tweets something out, this gets screenshot and then shared around other platforms like Facebook with tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of likes, and thinking that it endorses their anti-vaccination positions. So there's a problem here. You gotta my argument was, and we talked about this a bit in the last episode, but I'm more interested in what people have to say in the comment section. But my argument was, we got to be careful that we're not sending out messaging that someone who's 65 plus, or a vulnerable person who's could have real trouble with COVID-19, including dying from it. We want to make sure that we're not like steering them away from vaccinations, right? Or fear mongering, right? So we got some interesting comments. One comment here that's gotten 21 likes, quite a few likes. We already got 108 comments on this video, by the way. People are, obviously it's a topic people care about. So Gabriel Shearer, thanks for the comment, brother, says, I just left Canada for the US and took my business with me. I'm seeing a lot of Canadian license plates down here too, and I imagine Peterson isn't far behind. Interesting. Let's see some of the responses. Christian Moses Holt says, thank you for improving Canada. We would have appreciated it more, though, if you would have given Mr. Peterson a ride while you were already at it. What do you got against Mr. Peterson? Yeah, we're I'm being critical of Jordan's tweet and some of his messaging, but what do you got against the guy? You think he's a bad person? Because he's got that because you think he's wrong on some ideological issues? Like, what's going on? Christian Moses gets responded to saying maybe he should have got rid of all the foreigners Justin is bringing in to replace us Canadians and our votes to keep his tyrannical ass in power. Maybe he should have got rid of all the foreigners. What? You don't like foreigners? You don't like immigration? Makes our country strong, man. Interesting. Joaquin Ayarza, I've seen your comments a few times, says, yeah, Trav, you rock, independent, that we might disagree on some points. Much love, Jacob. Thanks for the comment, Jacob. Matt Green says, I'm with Jordan. Oh, and people should learn to think for themselves. Yeah, thinking is good. Preparing for alien contact says, I think you're wrong, Travis. I feel that you should support Peterson's warning to avoid the vaccines. Yikes. Brian Rue. Peter Messenger says, I am 100% opposed to mandatory vaccinations, but I agree with Trav that JP should be more responsible with his words. I also believe that people in general should only take medical advice from their doctor and not their friends, favorite YouTubers or politicians. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. I saw that comment and I had to agree. And I also echoed that I am 100% opposed to mandatory vaccinations as well. It shouldn't be, a vaccine shouldn't be mandatory in order to live, and go about your business and engage with the necessary services that the government is set up to provide. John Taylor, he spoke perfect words! ! 7 likes. Love it. So there's some interesting comments there. Andy's trolling in the comment section. Andy, you little shit. I guess that means we got to get him in here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome my co-host to the program, Andy Rovier. Andy, what's happening, man? Are you there? Is there any Andy out there? There'll be no more. How's it going, man?
It's going all right.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. You have your mic pointed towards west.
We colleagues think that was the problem, that it was too close to my mouth, so that when I laughed, it just caused it to pop.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, I think we'll have to eventually get you one where you don't have to do that. But that's okay.
It kind of looks cool this way.
Yeah, you look like you have an antenna to what really is going on out there. What's going on in the chat? You've been trolling. Give me an update on what's going on in the live chat here.
I was just Wise Ape, the Trusty Ape podcast. That's right.
I don't think that's Wise Ape.
Let's assume, I don't know, ape. Sir Apes, as you always tell me.
Right.
Hold on, I said go back to Mexico. So that's not somebody that I know. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Fuck. Andy.
A little after that, Mr. Gnome came in saying the people need Andy, so I unintentionally struck a chord with Mr. Gnome, I guess.
Yeah, right on. Here, let's
They're
try just
famously nativist.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn you up a bit. Okay, there we go. Awesome. So I talked a little bit about Jordan. Have you been following the comment section there on YouTube?
No, I have not. But I did comment my own thoughts on this, and I think, and I stand by this. And I said, with the sentiment, so I disagree with his because it was to what he was actually saying.
Here, try starting again, but bring your mic a little bit closer to your face, just because we're losing some of your words like every few. There we go. That's probably fine. Go ahead.
I disagree with Jordan's response because it didn't seem warranted.
Right.
He seemed more focused on the mandate, but Trudeau didn't actually any kind of mandate in his gay little cutesy whatever. Anyway.
Oh, Andy. Yeah.
I'm gonna be in hot water now. So I disagree with the sentiment, but I think it's fun. That's what he said.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think our response, you'd have to kill me first, like before getting a booster. Come on. Like, and Jordan's about to embark on a massive world tour. I don't know if it's a world tour. I know it's definitely in the US, but so obviously he's going to have to be double vaxxed, and if the venues put in a booster mandate, I am almost certain, and I'll predict this right now, Jordan's going to get the booster. Because like, what are you going to do? Cancel the entire tour and lose millions of dollars because you don't want to get the booster? Let's see. Maybe let's see if Jordan will put his money where his mouth is when it comes to that, because that would be quite the sacrifice. And yeah, and I wonder what the reaction would be from his fan base. You know, can't do the tour anymore because he doesn't have a booster. Yeah,
I think a lot of his fan base would stand by him even if he got the vaccine, even though apparently a lot of them are against it.
Well, I think I think Jordan's already double vaxxed, or at least is vaxxed once. That's my understanding. But
right, he just doesn't. He doesn't want the booster.
Yeah, which, yeah, I don't I don't know why he's so resistant to it. I don't know what he's been reading, but
well, it does make the conspiracy theorist inside of me go a little crazy, but
yeah,
get inoculated again, and we're just gonna keep doing it over and over, and you know, something that a conspiracy theorist would tell you is going to happen. Then you're like, no, it's just gonna be like, it'll be one vaccine, and we'll be out of the woods. But it looks like it's not.
Yeah, Mr. Gnome says JP has enough conviction to die of the next variant. I don't know. I don't know about that.
The variant that we're working with right now was sacrificed deadliness for rates for contagiousness, so that's a similar trend will be going on.
Yeah, Science, we will eventually get to your comments. We do want to read. I was like, someone's calling Jordan Peterson a sexist racist, and it's my co-host. You shit.
He is okay. He is a sexist racist, Travis. That is just a fact.
No, I disagree. I think I think he well, it depends on what you mean by sexist or racist. I mean,
well, he is a white man, Travis, and white men are all sexist and they are all racist, and that is a fact. They proved it at Harvard.
Oh,
I will not put up with your patriarchal lies anymore.
Blah 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 blah. Okay, so what's going on in the world? Hit me with the most important news that you were able to come across. This will be good.
Why you gotta say it like that? Look. The most
this will be
important
rich.
News. Don't make me laugh close to my face, Travis.
I think it's because you throw your head back. But again, the dilemma of the microphone on Andy's headset continues. But anyways, Go ahead, Andy. Hit me with the most important news you found.
Well, the most important news that I found was that there was a concert shooting in Eugene, Oregon.
Damn.
Thankfully, it doesn't look like there's any fatalities. I recently checked up on that. It still looks like that's the case, but there were 6 hospitalized and 1 in critical condition, which is why I checked up again to see if maybe that person was more worse for wear, but I couldn't see anything about that.
What do we know about the
Still
shooter?
looking. Yeah, they're still looking. They don't know who it is. They don't know where they are, but they don't know if the shooting was random or targeted. And he thought to be a male in a hoodie who was last seen running westbound away from the scene. And the police chief doesn't think that there's a broader safety risk, but emphasized that he's still likely armed, dangerous. The police asked them with information call 5111.
Here, Andy, I want to change something. If you unplug your headset, is that usually what you use when we're talking on Discord?
Well, talking on Discord, I usually just use my phone.
Oh, it's usually your phone. Do you have a mic in your computer or no?
I do, but eventually, like, my computer will overheat, and I'll start to have to, like, leaning in really close to reach it.
Okay. Yeah, because when you're talking, sometimes like key words are being left out.
I'm really sorry about
That's
this,
all right.
Travis. I thought I had the problem fixed rudimentally, but I guess for once in my life I can't talk loud enough.
It's all good. We gotta order something new on Amazon. We'll take care of it.
This is a racket, though, Travis. They're just gonna have us keep headsets, and each time it'll be the same problem.
Do you know what I think?
Scamming us.
Do you know what I think we'll do for today, Andy? Can you rejoin this chat with your phone?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry,
thanks.
Everyone.
It's all good.
I'll be back.
It's all good. Joshua Smith says JP is an anti-vax smuggler along with his Jeebus, race, sexist, fascist, bigotry smuggling. Yikes. So first, I don't think he's like, do you think he's anti-vax, or do you think, like, I know he seems to be like against the booster here, or how many vaccines it takes to like keep up with the flu or keep up with COVID. But like, do you think that makes him an anti-vaxxer? Like, that's a question for the entire room. Would you categorize Jordan as an anti-vaxxer at this point, or do you think there needs to be some like soft version of that? I know like there's been this term going around, vaccine hesitancy. I mean, do we need that soft term? That seems like a term that would really trigger someone like George Carlin. Okay, we got Andy back. Andy, let's do a test here. How are you sounding?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's way better, man. So Science Fan says, "Are you an anti-vaxxer?" No, I'm not an anti-vaxxer.
Oh,
People should.
He constantly tells me how much he thinks vaccines.
Despite the evil little man with long golden hair that sits on my right shoulder, whatever he might tell you, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I think everyone should get vaccinated. Those who can get vaccinated safely. I'd like to see children who can get vaccinated safely get vaccinated. It's a good thing to be vaccinated and to take advantage of our technology, our medical technology. It's important to do that. It's going to give you a better crack at living a healthy life. So, yeah, the measles vaccine for children. If you're if your vaccine hesitancy or whatever you're calling it, your anti-vax self is still worried about the measles vaccine, we the sound's coming out a bit garbled. I'm gonna close OBS. Like, OBS has so many bugs. I'm just gonna reopen it here. Fucking technical difficulties. And then window capture is going to be that. This will be Discord. Okay, we're back. Everything should be nice and clear now for you guys.
I blame the gremlins for our technical difficulties.
Yes. Okay, so terrible shooting, and there wasn't any racial headlines of the race of the shooter.
Yeah, contrary to what our friend in the chat seems to be curious about, no, there was nothing I could see about which race they were.
Okay.
Basically, my takeaway from this is basically that it could have been worse, because it doesn't look like anybody died. It looks like, yes, 6 people were hospitalized and 1 person at least was in critical condition, but that's, in the long run, that's not that many people, and none of them died.
So Oregon, this was Oregon, right?
Yeah, this was Eugene, Oregon, in a concert hall. It could have been much worse, because we know from other shootings that there's a lot of potential for destruction that thankfully just didn't get realized as much as it could have been in this instance.
Yeah, it looks like it was a black male. For anyone who really cares about the race of shooters.
I know that that's what was going through your head, Travis.
I mean, I just it's interesting. Like, when there's a shooting, I think this is true about how media tries to shape things. Like, in some instances, the race really means something to the story. In other instances, it doesn't. So, let's see if I can find any of the headlines on Twitter and how they're describing.
Well, I mean, any information we can get on what this guy looks like, I guess, is important, obviously.
Yeah. Used stolen rifle. Yeah, that's sad. How do we end these shootings in the United States, Andy?
We need to start taking away people's guns. No, I don't mean that at all. Although I know that I'm sure there are liberals in the audience who are like, yeah! No.
So Jenny Osk says, hey, America dumbasses, why not just ban guns and you'll have much less shootings? Andy, your response?
Well, we have a really tricky, inconvenient document called the Constitution that doesn't make it all that easy.
Well, okay, it doesn't make it easy, but if you had the opportunity to do that, Andy, would you do it?
Would I just blanket ban guns? No.
Why?
Because I don't think that would be... I mean, you could say, oh, well, under my government, there would be no corruption. So people wouldn't need to be concerned about their safety.
Your fucking government would scare the bejesus out of me. Like...
Exactly. So why should I be getting rid of people's guns? It could be the only way they could defend themselves against my Gestapo, which I would inevitably have. So...
Okay, so what is your current belief as to why Canada has very few shootings per capita versus the United States? Do you think it's I just want to get your take on that.
Well, I would imagine the availability of guns is not the same as it is in the United States. And I imagine the laws are different, so it's a lot easier to prevent people from having guns in general.
Yeah.
Also, people in Canada, they're very soft. Like, they're very weak, if you will. they're unlikely to be violent.
First time I meet you, Andy, I'm just gonna fucking one punch you. You prick.
Well, okay, well, look, but if that's true, then isn't it a better thing to be weak then if there's less shootings? See, you didn't focus on that. You took it as an insult.
I
Just
focused
because I called you,
on how what it
just
did.
because I called you weak, and
I focused on what it
and-
did to my mangina.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else? What else has been going on? Shootings terrible. Andy has no answer to fix this problem yet. Like, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, sorry I don't have the answers to the world's problems just in my back pocket, okay? I do got it in my front pocket.
By the way,
you know.
did you want to plug your hair metal band now or later?
You know, Travis, my hair is not that long. And if it was, it used to be pretty long. If it was, good. I can't get it to grow back at that length. I think I stunted it permanently. Maybe I'm going bald already. But so that's my lot in life, I suppose. It's really hard being a white man. A lot of people don't appreciate that.
Science fan says, God, I'm so sick of race baiting, the first descriptive comment of a suspect. Yeah, I mean, it triggers people so hard to see that one way or another, where it just gets so many clicks and comments and everything. And unfortunately, like, journalism has become about that. Like, people are going to share like the sensationalist shit because people want to see like the comments. I find that so like chimp culture.
Chimp? What do you mean by that, Travis?
No, I'm not calling black people chimps. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh no! Whoa! Who said you were doing that? What? I don't even. But
You
for
said
some
it.
reason, your mind goes straight to chimps. Oh, black people. I don't know
You.
why you. I don't know why you make that connection, Travis. Are you saying that black people
I
look
make that
like
connection.
chimps?
I
Travis
make that
Pangburn,
connection.
everybody.
I make that connection because anytime someone says anything to do with like, oh, this is primitive talk or this is chimp talk, a lot of people go to that because there was a time when people did, refer to black people as primitive or less than or looking like.
I could see the Vox article right now. Travis Pangburn makes excuses for racist comments. Look, the people used to talk that way. What do you?
Yeah, come on, they did it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
in more local news,
Yeah.
let's get off the Travis Pangburn's a racist train. Although I'm sure we'll be coming back to that. But in more local news, there was a big power outage where I live, Antioch, but also in Brentwood and Oakley. And this was on Thursday.
yeah.
And it began at 4:10 p.m., where the East Bay experienced this massive transmission level outage.
Yeah.
And at the peak, 24,776 customers were affected.
Yeah.
Power
were
came
you
back
affected?
at 5:25 p.m. I was not affected, thankfully. If it did happen, I didn't notice because the lights were already off or something. But I think I most likely just was like right outside of the area or whatever. Maybe I was just lucky. But so all affected customers had their power restored as of Friday. And so PG&E is investigating, and I don't think they came to a conclusion. But I suspect this is a classic case of dueling angels. Maybe aliens, but I'm thinking angels. I saw this back when I was a rookie.
Wow. That's, that was gripping. What do you think the most, okay, well, when it comes to power outage, if you were to lose power right now, what would you do for fun?
I would do the same things that I do when the power's on, but I would use my imagination.
Oh my God. Next story. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed yet. Next story.
I don't need the power for my laptop and phone to work.
Yeah, that's true. Till the battery runs out.
Yeah, I guess so. If the battery ran out on those things, I would probably just sit in a corner and just cry for a little bit.
It does kind of my parents, like where I grew up, power outages could sometimes last a few days. So those times were we're crazy.
Science fan wants to know if he's wrong about something.
Oh.
Oh, when a bluebird goes extinct, we mourn. When a white person goes extinct, people cheer. Am I wrong? Am I wrong though? Honestly, I want to know. Pang, Andrew.
Wait a sec.
First of all, science fan, don't call me that. Second of all, I feel like you might be joking.
When a bluebird goes
when
extinct.
a white person goes extinct, the term is dies. Okay, a person doesn't go extinct when they die. That all of them would have to be gone.
When a bluebird goes extinct, we mourn. When a expires. Maybe you could have said when a bluebird expires, and then when a white person expires, like if you wanted to get all soft with the language. I don't think people cheer when a white person dies.
Well, there are people who do call for a white genocide, and they're usually white liberals. They're usually white liberals on Twitter who are like, I can't wait for white people to go extinct. And they look just like that.
The white man is polluting our oceans. They're polluting our ideas. Oh my God. They are intrinsically racist.
Ladies, all the two ladies that might be in the audience right now, I want to warn you that if you ever meet a guy like that, he is going to rape you. Okay? If he sees the opportunity, if he thinks he'll get away with it, he will rape you.
Only in college. Like everyone gets away with rape in college, apparently.
Only in college. Sure.
Okay.
But in college, you should be careful in general, I guess. But
yeah, maybe you.
So, I feel like I've been behaving very
ladies
poorly
and gentlemen,
so
we've gotten halfway through. We've choked halfway through Andy's very dry news update episode here. What's wrong with you, man? What attracted you to these particular stories? The power outage? It just makes me depressed thinking of having no power. Are you trying to depress me? Is this what you're trying to do?
The power came back. Okay, so we're fine. The only problem is that they don't know what caused it.
Okay, good, because I was really worried about hearing the rest of this power story. Thank you.
It was...
Keep talking about power outages.
Are you really making fun of me this hard in front of the people? Okay, like in front of my
people. Yeah. Okay, wait, everyone, it's okay. Andy has saved the best for next. Don't
do that.
A cat was kidnapped next door to my place, and
Travis,
the fire department the fire department was like called, and I was like, dude, why did you call the fire department? What a waste of resources. They must be racists.
Travis, I can't breathe right now. Okay. You can't fuck with me that hard because I just
Okay. I still haven't nailed your laugh. It's like
well, it's inconsistent how it sounds. It doesn't sound the same every time.
Yeah.
You laugh in a very boring way. You're like
No, I don't. When I really laugh, I just lose. I sound like a macaque monkey. I sound like a cock.
Anyways, you sound like a monkey's cock is what you sound like.
Anyways, okay, next story. Dazzle me with this one.
Actually, that was the...
That was all I found in a week.
That was actually the whole news segment. I didn't think we would get through it that quickly.
This has been Andy's news. Like, the power went out, man.
It feels like I'm laughing, but then no sound is coming out.
Yeah.
So I'm getting hysterical right now. Yeah, people are gonna have a bad image of me right now. I'm crying. My eyes are watering. No, actually, there was one more story.
Okay.
So Kaiser Permanente. They are just running a real tight ship constantly. Like, they are just ready, the most competent people on the planet. Nearly 4,000 Kaiser patients have received slightly less than the recommended dose of their COVID-19 vaccination. Now,
wait,
not
slightly
enough.
less? Like you mean the quantity in the shot, or?
Yeah, it was a little less, between 0.1 milliliters and 0.4 milliliters less than the recommended amount.
Okay.
Now, they said that the difference would be negligible, but they still offered any additional dose to people if they request one.
Right.
So they're saying that the small amount that they gave, the slightly smaller amount, should not have it shouldn't prevent you to be protected against COVID. But if you feel the need, you can get another dose. And I know it's not that big of a problem.
No,
but
that's interesting.
When I heard about this, I was like, yeah, of course, like fucking Kaiser. These people have annoyed me a little bit. But I mean, it's better.
And you're
better
talking
than
about
known.
Kaiser and not Pfizer, right?
Yeah, Kaiser Permanente.
Okay.
And I think that's German or something. So obviously,
Andy,
that's probably.
Mr. Gnome has some advice for you. Go on Wikipedia current events next time. That was shit news. I'm sorry, bro. Your response?
Okay, Mr. Gnome. You're on the list now. How about that? You're going to be on the news, okay?
Yeah. You know what Andy does to gnomes?
Okay. Yeah, well, you're going to be stiff like a garden gnome, not moving anymore. Capiche? Comprende? Comprende? So, yeah, according to the healthcare provider, the reduced dosage size was a result of a miscommunication between the staff and was an isolated incident.
Yeah. But that's kind of a big fuck up. Like if you're injecting shit, and if it, like whether it's too much or too little, like, you got to you want to get that right.
It is still, I mean, they do say the difference is negligible, but it's still like, you don't want to hear about that.
Yeah,
you don't want to hear about those kind of mistakes getting made, because what if it wasn't negligible? And if it wasn't, and they were like, okay, now you have to get it again, my inner conspiracy theorist would be going insane, and I would be like, no. I don't know what this is. I don't know what kind of trick is going on here. I'm not going to do it. But thankfully, it didn't get that bad.
Guys, they're just trying to get me to take another dose. I'm not going to do it. I found some information.
I would feel that. Like, I might still end up taking it, but I would really be pissed off. And like conservatives or whatever, if they hear about this, they'd be like, see, they don't even know what they're doing. And they would technically be right, because they fucked up.
See, they're sticking the shot inside you. You see.
Not just conservatives, is a lot of people, not just conservatives, but people on the more conspiratorial side, like Alex Jones.
Jenny says, what's your guys' opinion on AI being implemented into human brains in the near future in order to help with some disabilities, or used in more morbid, less helpful ways? I'm totally for it. I think it's great. And if we can start doing cool things, like imagine if we could master, like while we're sleeping, if we could be in control of our dreams and actually do some learning and shit like that while we're actually dreaming, and not harming the process of sleep and what its function is. Some of these innovations could really open up a lot of opportunity for humanity. And of course, there's going to be the purists out there, the ones leaning on the naturalistic fallacy to say artificial intelligence isn't natural. It's like, well, it's natural. It came from us. We created it. It's of natural origin. Just remember that. Everything's natural unless you can demonstrate the supernatural. Like Andy claims to be able to with ghosts.
I claim to be able to demonstrate it, did I? I don't remember that. But What you got? You got a serious look on your face, Travis. Did something happen?
No, I'm just trying to keep up with the comments as they're coming. Did you have anything else for me? We have a guest coming, right?
Yeah, we do. Our friend Jay Dozio,
Yeah.
Juan. He'll be able to take a break from his day laboring career and come here and
What does he
tell us.
do? What does he do in his day laboring?
Oh, he hangs out outside of Home Depot, and
Oh yeah.
no, I don't know. I was literally just making a joke about his name because I'm racist.
Ladies and gentlemen, Doolittle's in the chat says, I volunteer to be the first one in line for the brain implant. We need a brain implant Bill of Rights first, though. Yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. 100%. I'd be first in line as well. Zachary.
Somebody is asking, I think this is a question directed at you, Travis. How did you wind up getting gay?
Getting gay?
From Zachary Miller. So tell us, Travis, why are you gay?
Zachary Miller's been a long time. I think he is Spaceman on Twitter. But anyways, welcome back, Zach. I am not gay. Andy, are you gay?
No, I'm not gay. Travis, I will. That does contradict something you told me earlier in confidence.
Yeah. So, okay. Let me, I was going to check. I'm going to do this live on the air. You guys, here's the ticket link, by the way. Oh, I don't want to open that with that. There we go. I'm going to give you guys the Pangburn ticket link. If you guys see anything wrong with any of the links, go and test the link out. This is the link for the tour tickets. The Celebration of Science and Reason tour featuring Lawrence Krauss, Sabine Hossenfelder, and Arvin Ash will be joining them in Vancouver. Check out the link, follow it, look at it, see if there's any spelling mistakes, test the links out. We're going on sale this Saturday publicly, so everyone please have a look. Give us the thumbs up if it's looking good. And there was some more housekeeping that... Oh, yeah, I wanted to remind you guys to make an account at thewarofideas.org. There's... The latest article was written by our very own Richard Zurich. He's one of our judges on the Pangburn Discord server, which I will drop you guys a link to the Discord server. But here's a link to the most recent article. I want to publish your articles. So send me your articles, travis@pang-burn.com. Send me an email. I'll read your articles and then publish them if I think they're worthy of publishing. And yeah, this is a good quick way to get your work published and out there. This, we published this one 6 days ago and it has almost 4,000 views. The one before that has 5,700 views. So yeah, the platform is growing, but that's our official online publication for Pangburn. So yeah, head over.
Yeah, Zachary, Travis has absolutely been shadow banned.
Yeah, Zach, thanks for telling me that. This has been reported to me by hundreds of people through email, through our Patreon, through our weekly subscription service, and basically everyone's told me that we've been shadow banned. Luckily, my lawyer is on the mission right now, and I should be getting a new update pretty soon, but legal shit moves so slow. I just wish we could get this channel remonetized and remove any kind of banning that's gone on in this channel. It's too bad. Science Fan says, why do you guys ignore science? What are you talking about? I think Science Fan has a bit of anxiety. Like if we don't reference one of his messages for like 5 minutes, he starts saying, why do you guys ignore science? Or maybe he's speaking to someone else. I don't know.
Oh, is science referring to himself? Like his science is short for Science Fan?
Yeah, we're not...
And he speaks in the third person.
We love you, science.
You're right. You're right, Pang.
Yeah, I was just going to say, don't bring that grammatically incorrect shit to my chat. Come on now.
How often do you, back in high school, Travis, because you told us that you used to be a bit cockier, a bit more of a dude bro, perhaps. Did you ever speak in the third person?
When I was really young. Yeah. No one's going to mess with the Pangburn because the Pangburn will then mess with you.
Not even Travis, the Pangburn.
Yeah, Pangburn. So Zach, just keep an eye on the channel, man. Keep an eye on my Twitter. I don't think I'm shadow banned there, although my tweets seem to get not very much interaction, or activity, and I don't know why. I know people send like bots and shit to all my accounts, and it fucks things up. But yeah. Yeah, no, Science, thanks for doing what you do. I appreciate it. Let's get our guest in here if he's ready. But yeah, you guys do make
I hope that he is.
Jadosio. Yeah, head to thewarofideas.org, make an account, guys. And again, I want to publish your work, so send it to me. I'd appreciate it. Oh, and by the way, make sure you drop a like on this video. Really helps the stream out.
All right, Juan should be in here. I told him to be on standby, but
nice.
Maybe he got distracted doing something.
Maybe he's Science and he's trolling.
Sending him a very alarmed message. Come in now! Exclamation mark.
Come in now, you turd.
Hopefully he gets insecure and is afraid that I hate him.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Well, that's how I feel about everyone I know, so maybe other people should be feeling it too. I was kind of bullying Fateh the other day for no reason.
Were you making fun of his voice? Dude, I'm not even kidding, Andy. Last night, by the way, you guys, I'm going to drop you guys our Discord link so that you guys can come and join us, and we'll get to Jadosio in just a second here. Thanks for joining us, man.
He just joined us, yeah.
And what up,
Howdy.
brother? What up, brother?
Not much. How's it going?
Good. I'm just going to drop this. You guys join us on Discord, but I just wanted to say, last night, Andy, I was talking, like Fateh came into the room, and I was like, "Oh, hi everyone, it's Fateh," and then all of a sudden he's like, "Hello, Travis." He was like really loud, and I was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "This isn't you. Who stole it? Who stole your account?" And he was like, "No, I've just decided to start speaking louder into my mic." I think our messages have finally gotten through to him.
See, I wasn't trying to give him I didn't talk about that. I was just acting like I was in like a sociopathic mood that night. I just was being a jerk to him for basically no reason. So Tristan, if you're watching,
in a sociopathic mood? No way, man. How is that possible?
Don't say it like I'm always like that.
How is that possible, man? Anyways, more importantly than Andy's shitty little news report.
No. I love Andy's shitty news reports.
No,
I tune in every time.
Look,
Travis, this is not helping my self-esteem.
Andy, I appreciate your effort. I can't wait to see what you have in store for the next episode on Thursday. By the way, guys, for now, it's Tuesdays and Thursdays with Andy and I live on the air during the day. We will eventually start clipping out these episodes so that you guys can see smaller clips as well. They'll be dropping on this channel. But Jadosio, how's it going, man?
It's going. I'm here. And I'm nervous, just like Andy was the first day. I thought I wouldn't be, but here it is.
I love it. I love how you put in the just like Andy was, just so that if you do really suck on here, you can be like, hey, Andy sucked too. Remember, I said it.
Yeah,
I'll definitely suck, but maybe not as much as Andy.
You will not suck as much
Juan,
as
just so you
Andy.
know, I'm nervous right now. Okay, so
You know,
Well, there you go. Now, and then
if
it's
you're,
not just me.
don't expect it to go away.
by the way, this is the perfect episode for you to come in and like steal the show after Andy's fucking news.
Oh no, I highly doubt. No, Andy, impossible to steal anything from Andy. And
Why are you bullying me so hard, Travis? Is this karma?
that's why you're here. That's
this is all
your
karma.
role is the bully.
Okay, what do you got, Judosia? What's the topic?
What's the topic? Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to talk about a topic that we were discussing the other night with Dan and I didn't really get a good title for it, but the possible subjectivity or objectivity of reality, maybe the truth
Nice.
of not things are a way, a specific way when they're being viewed, or if they are genuinely that way when no one's viewing them, you know?
Right. Okay, cool. Well, fuck, let's get into that. I know you're a physics buff, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's all I'm going to talk about is physics. So,
Right on, man.
I'm gonna try to describe what it is I'm saying, so I don't.
Well,
seem
I'm pumped.
dumb.
Andy, can you listen up and try to learn a fucking thing or two? So
I can't stop smiling like an idiot because
we'll see if Andy gets a physics lesson here.
Okay, let's kick it off. Science fan in the chat is just like creaming his pants, creaming his spinach, ready for this topic. So how do you want to kick this off?
I don't know. Well, maybe we could talk about your personal opinions about, because you had a really strong opinion, at least the other night when we were talking about whether or not you brought this interesting question to me, which was, do you think that there was no universe or there was no existence until humans came about and started measuring or objectifying things?
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I remember. And now let me ask you to start this off. Do you think the objective reality that we are attempting to measure with the scientific method, right? Like this chemical compound does X and it doesn't do these other things, and we can eventually say, yeah, this is objectively true. Do you think and I'm just going to ask you straight out, here's the hot button question.
Yeah.
Do you think our minds are creating matter, or do you think we have sense-making apparatus in order that allows us to interact with objective reality?
All right. Well, that's a great question, and one I don't have the answer to, sadly. I wish I could side with one camp or the other, but the more I was researching and reading up on this topic, the more questions that surfaced. And so, to be honest, to answer that question that you asked me the other night, whether or not I think that there really was a reality before there were living things to measure it or to experience that reality, I don't know. I don't know whether or not there really was anything, right? Because we 100% can predict and can measure facts of the past. For example, the pictures that we have of the stars are pictures that we have of light that are billions and billions of years old, before there was any Earth, before there was obviously any humans. And so clearly that though those phenomena are there and they existed before we existed, but whether or not we are creating them by our observation of them, or the effect, in fact, if any, that we have on those facts, I'm not completely satisfied to say that they existed before we existed. There's a famous Penrose quote on this, which is it's all regarding what's called a measurement problem in quantum physics, right? And it's the idea of, I'm sure you guys have heard of the Schrodinger's cat thought experiment, right?
No, never.
Well, maybe outline
Whether or
it.
not,
Andy may not know, so outline.
What? No, I
just
know it. I was
Oh, okay.
being.
okay. Well, I mean, just in
I
case
can't
anybody
see
might
your
not know it,
face
right?
because you got a little nappy on your face. There you go.
Right.
It's
The
good to
essence
know
of the
that you
question
think
is
I'm just totally illiterate, Travis.
Illiterate.
totally. Well, maybe not
If
totally,
that's the
but a
standard for
little.
illiteracy, almost
Doing
everyone's
well.
illiterate, right?
A lot of people
No, I
know
think it's a
Schrodinger's
very
cat. Isn't that the common? Isn't that common knowledge?
No, it's not
I
common
think
knowledge. It
I
would be
think most
common
people,
knowledge about people who have looked into quantum mechanics, but
but
I don't know.
it's
I
I
feel
think
like
it's a common topic to discuss. Maybe I would be more biased to thinking that more people know about it since I'm in circles that often discuss these
well,
sorts of
this
things.
is what I'm
But I think
trying to escape. Like the day-to-day
right.
human being does not read into what quantum mechanics is or anything to
Okay,
do with
okay.
it.
Well,
You know?
maybe
yeah.
I
Maybe
can
you
give a
could
quick
clarify
outline
for
of
the audience, I guess.
I could give a quick outline of the problem then, right? It's a thought experiment. This never actually occurred, right? It's not an actual experiment that occurred, but it was a thought experiment that Schrodinger, the guy that invented the Schrodinger equation, which is how wave functions are evaluated and their time evolution is measured, right? I'll be more specific in a minute. But basically, the crux of the issue is imagine there was a cat in a box, and next to the cat, there was some apparatus that was constantly measuring some quantum principle. So, for example, there's different examples. There's a measurement of spin of an electron, right? Whether an electron is spin up or spin down
Yep.
is completely random, and we give it a wave function so that it's a superposition of it being both up and down. And until it is measured, it is unknown whether the electron is genuinely with spin up or spin down. What spin is doesn't really matter. It's just a property that all electrons have, and other things also have it, but that doesn't really matter. The point is, um, once this device, which is constantly measuring electrons, shows or detects an electron that is spin up or spin down, whichever you want to choose, um, some mechanism occurs and some poison is released. And whether or not the poison is released or is not is dependent on this measurement, right? And so if the poison is released, obviously the cat dies. And so somehow there's a connection between this quantum principle and this classical principle of alive or dead, right? And so until the box is opened, you are the cat itself is considered to be in a superposition
Superposition
of
of dead and
and
alive.
alive.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and
Um,
that's fucking stupid. Is my response to that. No,
it's stupid.
it's
pretty
not in a.
stupid.
It's not in a superposition. It's either one or the other, and we just don't happen to know because we don't have all the information.
You
And
know
this is a
what?
classic example. This is a classic example of scientists, so-called, making things too complicated when they try to sound smart. Just like the first guy who asked, "Do we really exist?" Yes. God.
You know what? I don't know what to say to that because that is kind of an oversimplification. At the end of the day, you're right. The cat is either dead or alive. It's never both.
Yeah.
As you would
Yeah.
because
So
when
the point
we
of
never
the thought experiment is null. Then.
no, it's actually not no, right? Because look, the entire point of the experiment is to show that observation has an effect on this thing that they call the wave function. The wave function is at a certain point in physics, they realized that there was an inability to describe systems, especially small system like atoms and electrons and protons and stuff like that, with the ultimate precision that physics was usually used to, right? I'm thinking of like a billiard ball precision, right? Like when I hit a billiard ball with this momentum at this angle, this other billiard ball will go off 100% in this direction with this momentum, right? Like there's no doubt in that. There was never any doubt in that. But at a certain point when examining the very small, they realized that well, the very small did not behave in a cause and effect sort of way. A lot of weird experiments demonstrated that there was no assurance in knowing that if you hit, for example, an electron with another electron at a certain momentum and at a certain angle, that it would reliably go off, like a billiard ball go off in a predictable direction, right? And so they started to describe things no longer in facts, but in probabilities. And these probabilities are summarized in what is called the wave function, right?
So then you would agree that reality is deterministic.
Yeah, I would. Well, no, I would not. I would not agree.
Okay,
here,
explain that to me, because what you just
there's a detail there. Okay, so
Here comes Travis with his atheist nonsense.
so you pointed a very good point right there, which is right when I was discussing the wave function. The wave function is deterministic, right? It's a linear function that with the Schrodinger equation you can predict the evolution of it. But there is an indeterministic factor when considering the multitude of wave functions, the interactions of ones with others, right? There's a lack of assurance in multiple probabilities. And I think well, I would have to look this up, but I think there's an assurance in physics that reality is non-deterministic. However, and this is because of measurement problems that have arisen, like for example the Heisenberg uncertainty principle.
So
the more you know.
But aren't you outlining the problem between predeterminism and determinism? Because I think
predeterminism?
Yeah, like
I'm not. What do you mean predeterminism?
Well, if we had a perfect fortune-telling machine,
right,
we wouldn't get this linear line of what will be, but what we would get is branches of all of the probabilities of things that may be, right? Because when we reach that point of where the uncertainty principle comes into play, there's going to be two potential branches in that computation, right?
Yeah, well, okay, it doesn't just split into the. I guess I misunderstood you there. I think it doesn't split into. Okay, well, there's right here we're gonna get into a bit more of the debate, right? It's ultimately up for debate. It's a philosophical question at the end of the day. There's no math answer that tells you whether or not it's deterministic or not. There's different interpretations on the equations, but this branching out that you described is not so defined as you may want it to think, right? It's not like you can map out all the branches. The more you go through one branch, the more branches are made necessarily.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying. I agree with you on that. I'm saying that this idea of predeterminism, as though we would be able to look at like this perfectly nicely mapped out line that's going to be very clear to read. It's just going to be this mess of potential, right?
It's certainly a mess. Yeah.
So
well, I'm not.
But that,
again, I'm not sure. Yeah.
That struggle does not mean that things as they happen now, it doesn't mean that these things were not determined based on the velocity of the Big Bang.
Well, okay, if you can't say by which things they were determined, then how can you be sure that it is deterministic?
We can measure all the computations that led to me moving my hands like this and having this conversation with you. We can measure.
You can't measure them.
No, you don't think we can measure? Well, can we measure?
And let me ask you this. Why you can't.
Let me ask you: do you believe that we can measure starlight back to the origin, or can we measure, microwave background radiation?
There's some important details here, right? Yeah. All measurements come with an uncertainty, right? There's
hold on a second, J. Dozio. I would just like to interject. Travis, you're a horse's ass.
Okay, thanks, Andy. That was your best news. That was your best news update of today.
You're a determinist. You believe that reality is deterministic, Trav?
Yeah, I believe that the way things play out that we
Right.
are observing here are
Huh?
that's just the properties of quantum and classical mechanics played out the only way that they could play out. And
Okay, the only way
including,
that the key
yeah.
phrase in that sentence is the only way in that they can play out. And the
No,
fact
that
of the
they
matter
could have
is
played out.
that they could have played out. Well, there isn't only one way that they could have played out. And what way they do play out ends up having more influence on the way you're measuring it than you think. And for example, I used to be a Calvinist. I used to think that some like if we could only know the conditions of the Big Bang, the first moment of the Big Bang, then we could just insert into those equations the next second, and we would know what the Big Bang looked a second after. And then we could do that for second two, and we would see what the Big Bang looked at second two, and then you could just
Yeah.
extrapolate that all the way up to like 13 point whatever billion years we're at, and then you could know where all the particles by a mechanics point of view went and how it is that everything occurred. But the reality of the fact is that you cannot reliably predict the motions of particles to an accuracy that would allow you to know where they are at after this much time has occurred. And that is specifically because of the uncertainty principle, right? The more you try to know where it is that a particle is, the less you can know about how fast it's going. And that has nothing to do with the measurement device or the measurement technique. That's an inherent that's almost like a law. It is an inherent thesis of quantum mechanics that says that, right? That the more
Okay.
you know about one thing, the less you can know about another. The uncertainty of one
Okay.
thing, by the way.
Interesting. Now let me ask you this, another fundamental question.
Okay.
Do you believe that all events in the universe are determined by pre-existing causes, including moral choices?
No, I don't believe that. No,
Yeah, I think
Fascinating.
I think there's a random factor in here that we are unable to determine. And that not only are we unable to determine, but that is undeterminable, right? That by no means in scientific thought or questioning or mathematical development are we able to discern this. And this I'm getting from the uncertainty principle, right? Again, the
Yep.
more you know about where something is or how fast something is going, the less you can know about the other, about where it is or how fast it's going. And these two things that I'm giving you, which is where something is and how fast it's going, that same dichotomy can be drawn between different variables, right? There's a name for these two variables. It's slipping me right now, but for example, you can draw the same distinction between energy and time. The more you know about the energy of a system, the less you know about when it is that that system had that energy. And this is summarized again by the uncertainty equation, which is one uncertainty multiplied by the other is always greater than or equal to h bar over 2. H bar is a Planck constant, right?
Yeah.
It's just a number, but basically it states that there's always a minimum amount of uncertainty that is just inherent in reality. And within this uncertainty, within this range of it being this energy or this other energy, I think that is where the randomness comes in. That is where the ability for the universe to have ended up in a different place might arise when you know, like for again, going back to the example of knowing the preconditions of the Big Bang, right? You might say that if I plug in time t, say time t is right now, into these equations, you would be able to know where all the particles are. But the reality of the situation is that there is no way to know where it is that everything was and how it was at that first moment, or in fact, in any moment. And so there is no ability to extrapolate this equation to this point. This is actually not what I'd written in my notes, but we can keep going.
So, well, one thing I wanted to mention quickly here is that when I do have Kraus or Sabine on
Yeah.
on
Oh,
again, I would love for you to come in and have some exchange with them during the podcast. I think that would be awesome.
I've dreamed of that, so
because
I'd take
these-
you up on that on a rush.
Okay, great. We'll do that for sure. We'll make sure you're available. I wanted to talk to you about.
It's good to know that I totally forgot that Juan was into physics. For a second,
Sure.
I was genuinely afraid that he would really suck as a guest and not have anything to say.
I do suck as a guest. You see, I actually have such a fear of speaking to these topics because at the end of the day, I'm afraid that I'm gonna always say, "Damn, I really don't know," and I know that someone does know, like someone, Ina.
It's okay to say that.
Well, and we want,
Those
and by the
people
way,
genuinely
anyone
are read up on.
Anyone who's listening to this after the fact or during, please, if you have something you want to correct someone on, challenge someone on, just leave it in the comment section. We'll try to make sure that the guest or we will see it. Are you familiar with the Galton boards?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I'm going to send you this. How randomness can arise from determinism. I just posted it for everyone in the chat as well. Well, I'll send you this after. Or actually, you know what? If you see the chat there, Jadosio, I posted as a link from Quanta Magazine. Take a look at these boards and what they demonstrate. We won't get into all the details because it'll just be reading a lot of like really thick material.
Right, yeah.
But check that out and have a read. There's also a recent video by Sabine Hossenfelder where she makes the claim that why the universe is deterministic. Again, you guys should subscribe to Sabine's channel for sure.
Love her. I love her. She's extraordinary. She really took me by a hoop.
Why don't you marry her if you love her so much?
I wish I could. I don't
Andy's
think
feeling
she's
jealous. You got to throw it. You can't just. One thing I noticed about Andy, you can't start complimenting someone and not throw one over to Andy. Andy, your hair. Andy,
yeah,
your
that's
hair flows
true.
with the
Yeah,
beauty
that's
of,
absolutely correct.
Andy,
if you don't tell me how wonderful I am,
your hair flows like the beauty of the ocean and the
I love
prettiness.
how small your eyes are, Andy.
Andy,
not good enough.
You got nice
Not
little
good
pretty eyes.
Do not comment on how small my eyes are, Juan.
God! Like
great feature in your face.
I thought Jay Docio was gonna be like a terrible guest, but like it's all like worked out.
Is that how I sound?
That's what you look like too.
That's what I look like, but is that how I sound?
Maybe not. I don't know that.
Oh yeah, well this is you, Travis. Oh, I think you have a hole in your skeptical foundation.
With me with my giant eyeballs over here. Jadosio, what are some topics you have found most interesting, like since you've come into the Pangburn Discord server? What are some topics you hear a lot and you like getting into?
Oh, and that thing I asked you about in private doesn't count.
Honestly, I'm impressed on and maybe now on second thinking, I shouldn't be as impressed, right? Because it's obviously a type of place that only very wanting or very literate people would go to, but it's a place where I've been able to learn a lot about specifically philosophical topics that I before hadn't even a clue about, right? Like I don't know, like I really like this topic. And I've been convinced, and I've been asked to convince others, and I've been unable to, and so now I'm less convinced. The idea of getting an ought from an is,
Right. Yeah.
And
that's always a fun topic. Like, I actually do love talking to moral objectivists, I guess I would call them.
Right. I love talking to people that I disagree with. Because I've found genuinely it's not that many people, at least not in the server, right? I agree with most points of views. Yep. Maybe that's just my being.
Once you start getting into politics, I would say it gets more radical. Like you get people like, whoa, you have a way different, political prescription for your country than I could have imagined,
For sure, I do much appreciate the diversity. I would have assumed that everybody was an American or a Canadian, but that's certainly not the case.
I
I know
wish,
I've
G.
talked to Jolly about like his views on the Australians' policy on the coronavirus and all these things, and
Yeah.
I'm shocked every time I talk to him about a new thing, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing, guys. I just dropped you the Discord link for our server. We have people from all around the world getting together every day, having interesting conversations about philosophy, art, science, life. Join us. We have an online digital tavern where that's the place where we just sit and make fun of each other. And then if we want to have a more serious conversation, we drop down to the philosophy tab or the science tab or the COVID-19 tab, whatever we're feeling like. I wanted to ask you, Jadosio, what if you could sit down and have a conversation with anyone that's alive today, who would it be? Who would you choose?
Oof, that's a hard one. I didn't think you would ask me such a thing.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, but
Let me think. I would damn, I really don't know. I really don't know. I'm thinking of someone that might have a lot of influence. But they're probably not names that you'd probably be very familiar with. I would really be interested in and her name is slipping me right now. I think her last name starts with an H. Maybe I can find you her name right now. But she's
A
the head of
woman.
CERN, the
yes,
head of
Andy, a
CERN
woman.
that dictates basically the projects that are going to continue or not going to continue in CERN.
Oh, at
Um,
CERN. Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
be
Cool.
I'd be very interested to know about maybe her motivations on because those people are really at the top of the
Dude,
top, you know.
the particle
They have some
accelerators
small
are
table.
everything right now, right? Like
Right,
they're
right. And
literally
there's
everything.
there's teaming questions right now about whether there's plans to build a bigger accelerator that'll reach maybe 10 times the energy that CERN can reach right now, which was I mean that would be a godly feat by any human,
Yeah.
honestly. But there's questions of whether or not that would even result in any notable discoveries, right?
Yeah.
Because there's very few indications that there might be more discoveries in higher energies.
Yeah, and I mean
Um,
we're ultimately trying to find anomalies, right? Unexpected
Well,
interactions.
that's the goal,
the
right?
real goal of CERN is to open a portal to hell, right? That's to
Yeah,
let's
we're trying to make little black holes
let's
and
hope
suck
so.
you in.
free the devil so you can unleash him upon the earth.
Well,
Because
according to the
as we
Christians,
all know,
yeah. I mean,
as
according
we
to the
all know,
Christians,
scientists
yeah.
are atheists and atheists are Satanists.
What a dick.
Of course,
Anyways,
there's no.
but I mean, all of the people who are supposedly in hell, according to the Christians, I would love for a gate to open and have those people come back.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, don't worry, you're gonna meet them someday, Travis. Don't
Yes,
worry.
including Hitler. I wouldn't mind having a coffee with Hitler and asking him some hard questions
Well,
about
hey,
his
Jay
ideology.
Dozio, you're in Argentina right now. You just had coffee with Hitler a couple of nights ago, right?
Oh, for sure. I'm staying at the Hotel Eden, and I was talking to his grandchildren the other day.
Are you serious?
No,
Are you serious, bro?
no,
Anyways,
definitely not.
Jeff,
Well,
But
Juan
her
is
name is
Biden's family, and he's actually
Fabiola
related.
Gianotti was her name. To answer your question, Fabiola Gianotti. Maybe I'm pronouncing her name wrong, honestly,
okay.
but she's the head of, or at least head of a big department in CERN, and how it is that they make those decisions, because those are surely collective decisions that they have to make votes on and stuff like that. How it is that they favor different votes, or how it is that they ultimately make the decisions to spend those billions of dollars from nations. That's beyond me, and I would love a moment with her if I could ever.
Yeah, okay, that's good to know. Send me a DM on Discord, and I will post a link to something about her so people can go and check her out. And
I got you.
Jeffrey
She's amazing.
Damatos,
She's amazing. She's a
Jeffrey
very busy person.
Doolittle says, he's quoting you, I think. You say, I can't measure both things with accuracy simultaneously. And then he says, doesn't come about because the properties are indeterminate. It comes about because the act of measuring one changes the other. Do you agree with that?
During one, changes the other.
It's the comment in the YouTube feed if you
right, from Doolittle. Yeah, I know Doolittle. Well, my understanding of the uncertainty principle is that there is no, it has no effect. And this is a common misconception with the uncertainty principle and the observer effect. The observer effect is another thing in quantum physics, which states that for you to measure anything, you must interact with it, right? And that interaction has an inherent effect on that thing that you're measuring. And for you to really discern what it is that you're measuring, you have to be sure about how it is that you're affecting it and how it is that that measurement is being resulting, right? And so I think perhaps maybe I'm confusing this, but there's a distinction between the uncertainty principle and the observation, not the observation. I just said the name of it. The observer effect, right? And my understanding of the uncertainty principle is that it has nothing to do with the measurement device or the measurement method. That it is an inherency in the system of measurement, right? It is just a fact of the systems. But maybe we could speak more in detail with this with Doolittle. I would love some more detail.
We'll get a conversation going later. I'm sure the topic's going to come up.
Yeah.
But definitely when I have Lawrence or Sabine, I want you to come on for a bit and do a bit of an exchange with them. Science fan is saying you are completely wrong, so I've invited Science fan to come into.
He's calling you a random schmo, J-Dosio. You're just gonna take that?
I could be completely wrong. I could be completely wrong.
If you come into
but why do you think I'm completely wrong?
Right. Let's hear Science fan. Why is he wrong? Let us know in the comment section. But also, you guys, if you do join us on Discord, make sure you have a read of the server rules when you do get into the Discord. Understand that we don't tolerate attacking individuals, but you can, of course, attack individuals' ideas. You got to understand that.
Yeah, but by the way, Travis, I totally broke the rules recently about that, and I'm sorry about that.
Habitually.
Yeah.
No, not habitually. I've been on kind of a bad track lately, but recently I just absolutely lost it in the religion tab.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, strike 10.
But but I will quadruple down on this. Fuck that other guy. Still fuck that other guy.
So Science fan says it has nothing to do with observer. It's the equipment. A human has zero to do with it. So if we're going to talk about no,
I'm not talking about humans. I'm reading the uncertainty principle Wikipedia right now. Hold on, maybe I can come up with a better response, right?
Sure.
But no, keep going while I read, please.
Yeah, no, this is did that fix? Oh yeah, it did.
All my professors are probably really mad at me right now if I said something wrong.
Just another reminder, you guys. Going on sale this weekend, the Celebration of Science and Reason tour, produced by us at Pangburn, is going on sale. First date, Montreal, April 12th, April 13th in Calgary, and then April 14th, where Arvin Ash will join Sabine Hossenfelder and Lawrence Krauss. And they will have they'll be having a conversation of what's new in the realm of science, space exploration, all that fun stuff. They're going to be taking audience question. There will be a lengthy Q&A, and for those holding a VIP ticket, they're going to get access to the book signing. Again, join us on Discord. That's where things are happening daily at Pangburn. Make sure you interact with our posts, videos, all that jazz. I think what we'll do is
I'd like to know some of Andy's position on this. What is
go ahead.
Position on the deterministic?
I'll be right back.
Reality. Do you think it's
okay? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Just leave.
It's you and me now. It's you and me. This is how I wanted it from the beginning, Andy. This is what I was hoping for.
You could, Juan. You could get me alone at any time.
I I know,
So
but not in public. Not
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 that
like
hard.
this.
Uh, yeah. So I don't think if by determinist that means no free will. I don't believe in that.
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
think
I think
that's.
those are no, no, no. Those are two different. Those are two slightly different topics, right? Free will, it does not completely imply a determinist or a non-deterministic perspective. I think you can have free
Okay.
will and, or at least, all right. Let's not just not go into the free will. Assuming that free will does not specifically imply whether the universe is deterministic or not. Would you have any other rationalization as to thinking why it is determined already or isn't?
Hmm.
Is
So
that
would the
you guide
question
yourself in
be
that principle?
would the question be does or what happens in the natural world uh like let's separate that from the decisions people make. But I don't know
Well,
that
just
that
imagine a world with no living things, right? Do you think that um, one thing occurring after another is in a way already said and done and can be calculated or predicted if you know like the
um,
initiations and the way
I
that
mean
the
you could say that some things would be set in motion by the Big Bang, sure. I mean,
Mhm.
once something that happens in the present is because something happened in the past that necessitates it or enables it. But there
The
is
truth
a
is,
I do feel like it's probably safe to say there's a degree of um, uncertainty to where you can't just predict what will happen with absolute certainty. So,
that's
I
for
mean,
sure. Does this have any implications on how you like guide yourself or how you do anything in real life?
I
Or do
don't
you?
do anything and I don't guide myself.
Oh, okay. That
So I
answers
so
most
I
of my questions.
avoid that problem really easily.
Yeah, I can see. I can see now. You really came up with a nihilistic solution from the get-go.
Yeah, no, well, I'm not a nihilist, but I will say that you can't get game over if you never play the game. Okay, so no, yeah, it doesn't really. Where is this
Um,
guy going? It
just
sounds
to,
religious. Fuck you too, science fan.
just to
So
to answer what Science
there's
Man was talking before, I found a little paragraph in the Insurgents Principle Wikipedia. So maybe this is not really my knowledge, but
Yeah, yeah,
what
go
I was
ahead.
reading.
well, the
Um,
conclusion I'm trying to get to first is that Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior, and
Science fan right now. Let's all do our best, like triggering.
I'm sorry.
here,
See, I
let me
broke
read
the.
this
I think I
paragraph
broke
real
the
quick.
rules again. I can't tell the
Um,
audience to fuck off. Oh, never mind.
Let me know if this in any way corrects what I said before, Science Man. Historically, the uncertainty principle has been confused with a related effect in physics called the observer effect, which notes that measurements of certain systems cannot be made without affecting the system, that is, without changing something in a system. Heisenberg utilized such an observer effect at the quantum level as a physical explanation of quantum uncertainty. It has since become clear, however, that the uncertainty principle is inherent in the properties of all wave-like systems, and that it arises in quantum mechanics simply due to the matter wave nature of all quantum objects. Thus, the uncertainty principle actually states a fundamental property of quantum systems and is not a statement about the observational success of current technology.
And
Um,
you agree with that, Jadosio?
I do agree. Yeah, yeah. Well, in
Okay.
fact, that was the point I was trying to make, right? That the
So maybe there
uncertainty
was
principle.
something in that science fan, or maybe science fan has his head up his ass and doesn't understand what he's trying to talk about. Who
Maybe a
knows?
Oh
combo
well,
of both. Maybe a
with a
combination
name
of both.
like Science Fan, I'm sure. Let me tell you something,
He's
Science
saying
He
Fan.
he's
wants to know what
saying
he's talking
so
There's
about.
a
science fan was led to believe. Let's just sort this out a bit. Science fan was led to believe you thought like your eyes looking at it was the thing
Right.
affecting it. The attempt to measure it like
Uh-huh.
with instrument, right? Like if you throw light at it,
Right.
it's
Well, that's
so
what I'm doing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Your eyes
But this is
measurement device
this
at
is
the end
the
of the
thing.
day.
But sometimes people think it means like if I look at it, there's
Mm.
something, there's some energy coming from me, and that's what's doing it. That's where we
The
need to make sure.
consciousness aspect.
What's that?
The consciousness question, right? Whether my consciousness is somehow
Yeah, but of course we haven't
okay.
demonstrated
That's
that like our consciousness is
right.
changing, changing the properties of water or something like that.
Right. That is a common misconception, right? That the measurement device has to be a living, conscious being. It doesn't, right? Like you can use a photo or like a camera, and it'll have the same effect of
we
changing.
do have to step back for a second.
However, there's
sorry, finish up, Dosia.
No, okay, well, I mean, I was about to go into another topic, so maybe
okay. Well, before we do, Britt M wants a little more information, Andy, of what happened in the religion tab. Why don't you give us a play-by-play, and are you able to read it a bit for us? Your breakdown.
Okay. Yeah, I won't name the other person.
Yeah, you don't have to name drop, but what happened? Why did you run into trouble?
Let me pull up Discord on my laptop.
We'll get Andy admitting to it online here, and then we can finally boot him out of the server.
Well, it's already I didn't delete anything. The evidence is already there. You could have gotten rid of me already.
Well, now you're an admin, so no fucking around like that. But anyways, yeah, I want to hear.
Now I'm a god. Yeah. You really shouldn't give me that kind of authority, Trav.
No.
We'll see what happens now. We'll see what happens.
Hold on. Let me try and find it. Scroll up. It's never a dull moment in this tab. People are always on here. So to everybody in the audience, there's pretty much always some kind of discussion going on in this tab and a lot of the other tabs.
Jadosio, Peter's giving you a shout out on YouTube.
Thanks. I don't know what that means really, but I'm shouting back out.
You're supposed to say, "Hey guys, it's Jadosio back with another segment on Pangburn."
Smash that fucking like button.
Smash that fucking like button.
Subscribe.
Sponsored by G Fuel. Yeah. So okay, well here's how I started. We still want to hear the story.
Oh God, we're still waiting.
So don't treat me that way, motherfucker. It's actually funny. Because.
By the way, hang on. Before you start, Andy, on this shit, where the fuck is Scott? He hasn't been in the server for like 2 days. I'm worried.
I messaged him. He said he could come in on Thursday.
Oh, really?
Show.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Sweet. Okay, good. He's still alive.
Yeah, and I messaged him. I messaged him as I was like doing this, and I was like about to like break down on this guy, and he was like, "Do it, call him." So if you're gonna punish anybody, punish him. It's his fault. No. I was gonna do it anyway. Sorry, Travis. We might be sending like the wrong message to people who join. There are consequences if you break the rules. Travis is going to severely admonish me later.
Yeah.
So anyway, I came in with Yahweh brainwashed Pharaoh. If he cares about not directly overriding the free will of others, he is not absolute about it. So I'm referencing a verse in Exodus where it said that Yahweh hardens Pharaoh's heart to get him to do something, basically.
Yeah.
And if Pharaoh, then why not Cain, Eve, the serpent? If Yahweh saw no problem hardening the Pharaoh's heart to make him disobey, why didn't he soften Satan's heart to make him obey? So I basically just go down that
rabbit hole.
And
I didn't know you were that. I didn't know you were so literate in biblical scriptures.
Oh yeah, this is a second coming of Jesus Christ sitting right here. Can't you tell?
No.
Okay, now let's get to where this fell off the handle.
I haven't even read the entire Bible because when I stopped being a Christian, I basically gave up on finishing it, and I was like, screw it, who cares? But
that's fair enough.
I did get somewhat far, I guess. But so this person, in my defense, immediately they come in, they're being an asshole. So their first thing they said to me in response to this was, "I'm unsure if you actually want someone to contend with you, or you just want to hate then run after you are done. Cause I'll discuss it if it's fruitful. Lol.
Love the voiceover. It really shows how
Okay.
clearly
And
you want that.
and this is a guy who I've already spoken to, and I already have problems with. But
Why do you have
so
problems
he,
with people? Like,
That's
like what's going
problem. You
on?
have a relationship. You have a
well,
relationship.
look, there is evil in my heart, Travis.
Yeah, I know.
I have rage
It has
inside.
to
of
get
me.
out somehow.
You know what,
Don't
Andy?
don't treat
Andy,
me that
fucking,
way. I did not treat
Andy,
you.
fucking change. Anyways, okay.
I
What
need to
happened
change
next?
for my kids. It's true, but so yeah, I responded because this is in reference to something else we talk about. We have spoken about that I was really annoyed by. You won't even admit Elohim is plural. Why would I bother talking to you? And what?
Triggered.
And what? Well, yeah, I was annoyed right away. So we both had a bad start, I think. But obviously, I fell off the handle, and he retained his smug position. And what can you even say? No, Yahweh did not harden Pharaoh's heart. I couldn't let the lol thing slide. So I said, and you're not fooling me by typing it lol. That's an obvious attempt at setting up an appearance of dominance. You aren't laughing. In fact, you'd probably rather these things not be said. And I know that sounds a little dramatic, but I 100%
I was gonna say you went
stand
full
by.
third wave feminist on him.
I 100% stand by. I know that's dramatic. I know that's
trying to
but I
gain power.
100%. I 100% stand by that because I'm convinced that like a lot of the time that is true.
You're
If
trying
you're
to
talking to
gain
somebody
power
and they
over
type
me,
LOL, they are
obviously.
not laughing.
Are you trying
And
to call
depending
out
on the
Chad right now?
context,
By the way,
it could be literally just to.
are you
Sorry,
trying
what?
to call out Chad, hanging Chad right now? By the way,
No, not hanging chat. I haven't had
this
any
just
problems.
in
with chat.
breaking news that really fucking matters. Andy, by the way, Andy calls out hanging Chad live on the air. Hanging Chad, if you're listening to this, Andy wants a piece of you.
It's not Chad. Not hanging Chad.
You're afraid of hanging Chad.
Clearly.
Well, he's a
No, I can tell
Chad,
from
and
the
I don't know
tone of your
what's
voice.
hanging. I don't know if I want to find out.
And by
Is
the
that-
way, typing LOL gives you no power over this woman.
No, I
That's
do
what
like
I heard anyway.
that point you made on LOL. I do think people do try to use it as a ha 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 ha.
By the way,
Yeah, no, they
Um,
try to put up this image of, well, you're stupid and I'm laughing about it, which shows that I'm better. And maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I'm not convinced that this
Definitely are.
person or like most people who use that are actually
Brit,
laughing. Whatever they're really
Andy,
doing, I'm not
Andy, I
convinced
have
they're
to
actually
pump your tires a bit here. Britt says, I once began an argument in the tab with Andy, but decided I was out of my league. LOL.
No, for
What?
sure. Oh, come on, Andy. You every time you type LOL, you're actually laughing out loud. Is that really what you're telling?
No,
yeah, of
it's
course.
not even. Look, it's not that they're just not even laughing. It's that I don't think that they actually found anything funny. I think
Right.
they wanted to throw that in as, by the way, you're an asshole.
Okay,
like
now
by the way, I think you're
get
stupid.
to the part where you said something against the rules.
Yeah. I want to hear the.
Yeah, okay,
the
let's
hot
get
bit.
to the main point of when I broke the
God,
rules.
this is
And
taking
kids,
for fucking ever.
we're really being hard on me this episode.
No,
Get used to it, bro.
Kids, you really shouldn't. Don't take after. Don't do what I do. Okay.
Here's an example.
So basically, let's see. His response to that was, "No, it's just that I've tried multiple times to conversate with you, but you just seem like you want to say Yahweh is a meanie head because I said so, and my subjective opinion is a given." So,
How did I
so
miss
at this point, I'm thinking about violence, and I said, if that's what you think, it's because you don't actually read what people have to say. I wonder if you intentionally act so annoying to goad people into breaking the rules, or if you're just genuinely clueless. So I'm right up against the line there. But then,
ludicrous.
let me just skip ahead. Okay, so yeah, what do you mean by breaking the rules? And I've had many debates on here, but clearly it seems you are more on the emotional end of things when it comes to the God of the Bible.
That's true.
So
This is true.
he's just
Yeah.
got me by my balls, right? And I'm like, I mean, I'm incredibly tempted to call you a retarded faggot, but that would be against the rules, so I won't do that. And can you blame me? It's my sin nature. Clearly, I'm possessed.
Yeah, Andy's fucking banned.
Yeah,
Ban Andy, into ban,
no, because
into
then
ban.
even I could have left it there because I'm still technically not really saying it. I'm saying I want to say it. There's a difference, but I didn't leave it there. I didn't leave
Trolling.
it there. He said that would seem like quite an emotional response. If you don't like God or church, just say so. Lol, I figure you was here for a genuine issue with the Bible, and I wanted to discuss it. And then he said something about how he has thick skin and he can handle it. So once again, I said, stop pretending to laugh. I don't assume to have a problem with God, but I definitely have a problem with Yahweh. I would like to discuss the Bible, but not with you. I don't like you.
You know what, Andy? I think we need to get this person on for one of our next episodes, and you
Ooh,
guys can.
no,
just,
I
you know what, Andy, and we'll just sort it out. You guys will be friends after, I'm sure.
No, I will quadruple down. I will quintuple down on this. I hate this person, Travis. No. I wish ill will on them. I hope
all I care about is what Britt has to say, and Britt just made it so. She says LMAO, yes. The Brit has spoken.
I genuinely hate it. I don't know what it is, Travis. I don't know if maybe I'm going through something or this person just like there's something about them, but I could not keep it inside. So I said,
Andy, hate is for pussies. Like, just don't hate things. Don't hate people.
Okay, let's get to where I actually broke the rules. Hold on a sec.
Jamie, by the way, you guys, really important comment here. Jamie Hart says, I came to learn how can toilet paper for the next shortage. I think
in our glorious nation of
Kazakhstan. The most moral thing to do, Jamie, is go out and buy all the toilet paper. Don't care about anyone else. Don't care about anyone else. If there's a grandmother in there reaching for the last roll of toilet paper, take it out of her hands, throw it in the back of your truck, and then go and try and sell it somewhere and upcharge it. That's what you should do.
Yeah, Zachary Miller, I'm not sure if you could tell, but I am trying to have a degree of humor here.
What did he say?
Just a small bit.
Well, nothing. I can't. I'm worried about how I'm going to read their comment in the wrong way.
Zach's saying, reading the other guy's comments in that voice while reading yours normal and excusing the terrible parts, only making yourself look bad. Oh, Andy's getting called out hard.
Yeah, no, I admit it. I shouldn't have acted that way, but I will double down on this. This guy was being an asshole. I'm sorry. There's just
were you being an asshole too?
I reacted the wrong way. Doesn't mean he wasn't being an asshole.
But I'm sorry. You were being an asshole too.
Well, maybe
I was being an asshole because of how I reacted.
Okay. Jamie Hart says canning to preserve it. Yeah, make sure you can the toilet paper to preserve it. Use vinegar, boil the water, and shove the toilet paper in there, and it's a good way to preserve it. Also use like really hot peppers in the canning so that when you go to wipe your ass, you get a nice hot pepper spice, as part of the experience.
Yeah, so I said, I truly hate you. I spit on your God. But I know, I'm sorry. But blessed are you because I say that, cunt. So
there you go.
Yeah,
did you really write this? How did I miss this?
Yeah, I said that.
Andy.
It's true. I was in the wrong for how I reacted. Oh wait, hold on.
So easily bruised.
Yeah, I also said fuck you, not fuck you. Fuck
Everyone,
fuck period.
everyone, I'm saying this in all seriousness. Andy's got a warning, an official warning on the Pangburn server for that. Dal Tzu, one of our judges, says, I was surprised to see Andy's outburst. Caldwell has always seemed like a pretty good guy, in my opinion, couched in the standard Christian interpretation, but I don't know how deep. Yeah, no, I agree. But this is a good, we've all lost our cool in discourse. And it's good to reflect on it, go back. And John Boy says, devil warning, still love you, Andy. Andy, of course we love you. It's just a warning.
Yeah, I'm
Dude,
very
do you
sorry.
know how much tail you're going to get now that you have a warning on the Pangburn Discord server? Like, you're a badass
sorry,
now.
what?
You know how
You're
much
a baddie.
tail you're going to get?
Oh yeah, I got
that-
street cred. Yeah.
You
No,
do.
it is kind of embarrassing, but I mean it's a story.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Thank you.
You're
for,
a brave
for
man,
sharing.
Andy. I fucking love your honesty.
No, it shows that you're still human. I thought you were just a comic robot.
Yeah.
Comic robot.
You even might want to reach out to Caldwell and say, I love you, man.
No, because that would be a lie, Travis. But I am
come on.
sorry. I am
Love
sorry
my
that I
brother
couldn't.
and my sister.
I am
Come
sorry
on.
to Caldwell. I am sorry to Caldwell that I couldn't conduct myself properly. Although,
Also, I really want to know, Andy, how much is Science Fan getting under your skin right now? Science Fan. Science Fan's trying to troll.
I said calm down.
Brett feels you. Okay. I think we'll say so long to Jadozio. Buddy, thanks for coming by. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I love the invitation.
Yeah, love
Love
to have you
Andy.
back again.
Oh,
Also, you got to write an article for the War of Ideas. I want you to.
oh,
Write
you want me to
something.
write an article
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, man.
Sure, you got me to working, man. You
Hell
got
yeah.
me working. For
All
sure,
right,
for sure.
brother.
I'll think of something to write about that's maybe somewhat original.
Thanks, man. Everyone, Jadosio, thank you so much. Peace out, brother.
All right. Guys, bye. I'll see you around.
Yeah.
Thanks
All right.
for coming.
Great guest, Andy. Good thinking, man.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting. I honestly thought we would have a more basic kind of bullshit conversation, but yeah, I totally forgot he was so big on physics. So
Yeah. No, I knew that. It's he's very smart guy. And I always enjoy having conversations with him when he's around. Let's give them the Discord server link again. You guys, you're going to want to join us on Discord. If you're watching this after we aired live, the link to our Discord servers in the description of the video. Join us. Is there anything else you had for today, Andy?
well, before we move on, I would like to disavow my actions in relation to this, but in many things.
Andy, you're fine, man. You're
Yeah,
a
I
young
know.
guy. You're going through the process. You're looking to grow. That's good.
People are very forgiving. Hopefully, it's the same when they find all that DNA evidence. Anyway,
Yeah, Brit's so right that was relatable to many people who, kind of lose it a bit when they're engaging in discourse. It's hard to have, what I preach in the Discord all the time to my admins is that we need to have absolute patience in this Discord server for our own perceived stupidity. Anytime we think someone's being completely stupid,
Yeah.
we gotta do our best to be patient with that.
no, I was being completely impatient, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry about that.
It's all good. So
And I'm sorry, Caldwell, as well. Not just to Travis and to the other people. I'm sorry to you because you're the one who
stop
I
apologizing.
actually
It's
spoke
fucking.
partially with.
It was just a momentary.
There
lapse
are
in
rules,
judgment.
okay? You gotta treat the rules with some respect, you know.
Yeah. Now, what else did I have? No, I think.
Oh well, the other.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. You.
The other things I had. were some interesting things that happened on this day in history.
Hit us.
Aside from my public meltdown, in 474, Leo II succeeded his maternal grandfather Leo I as Byzantine emperor.
Nice.
And he was around 6 or 7 years old at the time.
Really?
And
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah, but sadly, he died young a couple months later
Wow.
of dysentery. And why I thought that was interesting was because it sort of shows two sides of history almost, where you could have a child emperor, but also that same child emperor die of something which seems somewhat treatable in this day and age.
Mm.
I don't know much about dysentery though, so
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. If it's still, I'm sure there are parts of the more developing world that still affects. I think it's still, it could still be fatal, but
Yeah.
And then on a brighter note, in 1778, James Cook is the first known European to discover the Hawaiian Islands, and he called them the Sandwich Islands, which presumably because after he made contact with the native women, that's what he demanded that they make him. Or perhaps he met two natives and had a different kind of sandwich, you know? And then in 1896, the first X-ray generating machine was exhibited for the first time
Fucking rights.
by H.L. Smith. And this is all on this date, on January 18th. And of course, this was, used in an attempt to prove that women have smaller brains than men. But either way, it's still a cool, interesting thing that happened on this date. I'm making that up, by the way. And then in 1993, Martin Luther King Jr. Day is officially observed for the first time in all 50 states, which, of course, is what caused Travis to move back to Canada.
I've always lived in Canada.
Well, that's the story you tell now. In 2007, the strongest storm in 17 years in the United Kingdom killed 14 people. Only one of those people was Mace. But Germany also suffered 13 losses in their worst storm since 1999.
Wow.
But because I've liked everything Germany has ever produced, I see that as a pure tragedy. So that was this segment of This Day in History.
Awesome. Thanks, Andy. I liked it. Loved it. This was great. I think we'll call the episode there. Guys, go check out the video I released today where I'm commenting on Jordan Peterson's tweeting about COVID-19 and vaccines, boosters, all that jazz. It's the most recent video. Engage in the chat there. Thank you to all of you who stopped by and engaged in this live stream. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it if you share this video, this YouTube live stream on social media. Please do share it. Comment, like, subscribe. Andy, as always, thanks again, man. I appreciate it. You were on fire today. I loved it.
I really don't know about that, but thank you, Travis, for putting up with me.
Yeah, everyone, hate is primitive. Get rid of the hate. And as always, let art and science inspire. We'll see you on Thursday.